Hello? Hello? Bubby, we're recording. Can I call you back?
Mommy,
Hmm?
do you have your phone?
Yes. I have my phone.
I was be sending you texts all throughout this
Look at your phone.
Okay, I'm gonna check my text, but Bubba, we're recording like literally right now. All right, I'm gonna talk to you later. Okay, Bubba? Bye.
Eyelash.
You not. This Negro sent me a link to buy him some Five Nights at Freddy toys.
Oh my god.
Bubba be doing too much. Well, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Welcome to
The original tale.
I am Sudeka Nzinga Terrell.
And I am Satra Nudara Terrell.
And we had left you guys for a little while because we loved the idea, but we wanted to get some different equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a new camera.
Yep.
And we've got a little sound situation popping that we'll get to debut maybe next time. This time we're just going to kind of raw dog it because, woo, it's a lot to talk about today. And we wanted to talk today and not next week like we had planned to. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, you ready to get started?
Yep.
All right. Well, it's day, 7 of 2020?
I think. Yep.
And I know that
2021.
2021. I know that for the new year, a lot of people were hopeful that, you know, things were going to be a lot better. And here we are.
7 days in, already a ton of stuff has happened.
Whoa, y'all. So why don't you give us a summary about what happened?
So, they busted in the Capitol. Trump gave a speech.
Okay, so
No,
let's start there. Let's talk about the speech. Because I feel like this speech was like the shot heard around the world. So, where were you when you first heard the speech?
I was down there cooking.
So you was in the kitchen?
Making nachos.
And what happened?
No. Eggs and stuff.
Making breakfast kind of late. And usually, you know, I'm working on a big grant project right now. So I'm sitting on my computer working on things. I had a deadline, and I listen to political podcasts. And
I heard that speech from downstairs. I was like, whoa. I completely dropped everything I was doing.
Yeah, well, so did I. So I was working and I was listening to the show called Earn Your Leisure. They were talking about ways to use Instagram for your business. And I got the notification that said Trump was speaking. And I was like, that's interesting. I know that there's like some rallies today, and I know that they're certifying the vote today. Like, what does he have to say?
It was something, all right.
Oh my God. So I turned it on, and it was like over the speaker. We have like a Bluetooth speakers in the kitchen. So it was over the speaker, and I was just on my Facebook, and I like just turned it on. Y'all.
Oh man.
So what's the first thing that you heard him say?
That the voter thing was bullcrap.
And he used the S word, y'all.
Yep, I immediately dropped the pan. I was like, whoa, hold on.
As soon as he said the whole election is y'all, I ran upstairs because my husband's teaching. And, you know, so he's on the computer teaching classes and stuff. And luckily this is in between classes because I would have interrupted everything.
Yeah, I heard you screaming, put on CNN! I was like, what the heck are you screaming about?
Because I could tell from from that point, like, first of all, to have a president cuss like that
That's something.
is like extra, right? I could tell from that point that this was about to be
wild.
yeah, like I was like, whoa, like okay, so this is what we're doing.
Yep.
So yeah, I was hollering.
So this is what happened?
I'm screaming up the
what's
stairs
happening?
to my husband, turn on the TV, turn on the CNN, put it on CNN. And we scrambling trying to find the remotes and stuff. CNN is not covering the speech, you know. So now we're trying to find the channel that's covering the speech. We finally find it on Fox DC Live, right? And we proceed, and you came in the room too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we proceed to stand in awe, cackling back and forth for the next hour. So first of all, what did you think of the speech and the whole setup, as a matter of fact?
I thought that this year is going to be 2020 round 2. It's going to be 2020 round 2. There is no hope for this being better. It's 2020 round 2.
Yeah. So I was struck by a couple things. His outfit choice, like the black trench coat and the black OJ gloves. And
Oh
you're
my
too
God.
you're too little to know what an OJ glove means. Right? Do you know what that means?
I'm assuming they're black gloves that are kind of
Okay, so
fabric-ish.
listen, back in the
fabric-ish,
day,
but rubber-ish or
no, okay, so
No,
back in the
okay.
day, O.J. Simpson, do you know anything about him?
No.
He's a former NFL player, and he was accused of stabbing to death his ex-wife and her boyfriend at the time, and his attorney was the great black icon, Johnny Cochran.
something.
We're going to watch the OJ show. That's going to be the next show we'll watch together, because that joint is fire. And you will be like, oh my God. But there's a whole thing about they found bloody leather gloves. And
Oh yeah, leather gloves.
he was trying to put so in the court, when he was in court, OJ was like, those are not my gloves. And Johnny Cochran was like, put them on. And so, you know, they made a big show of him tugging and trying to get these gloves on. And Johnny Cochran was like, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. So for people my age, when you say OJ glove, they know that means a leather glove that's
I
tight
thought it was
fitted.
like a leather glove. I thought it was like some kind of leather glove or something like
When
that.
we watch shows and they're about to commit crimes, the little glove they always put on, that's an OJ glove. So I thought like the outfit with the coat, the OJ glove. And then like he had that bulletproof glass thing around him.
He what?
Yeah, you didn't notice that he was standing behind
No, I
like
didn't see
a
it.
bulletproof glass like enclosure.
I didn't see it.
It was weird. I've never seen anything like that set up before. So I was just like, oh my God. At what point did you realize that that this was about to be something else?
As soon as he said the vote was bullcrap, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that was a lot. So he ends the speech, and he basically word for word is like, and so like in the contents of the speech, like him going through the numbers of people he said were dead that voted, him going through the numbers of people he said voted that didn't even live in the states
Oh my god.
that turned. I was like, whoa, like, as he's going through each state and each list. Then when he started talking about the election in Atlanta, the Senate election that they were currently counting, and naming people, talking about who he endorsed, that he called the governor of Atlanta the dumbest person he ever met. Like, I was just
Oh my god.
like jaw on the floor.
Ugh, man.
But when he ended his speech, and he was
man.
like,
the thing he ended it with, I was like, oh no, it's about to be some mess.
he almost word for word was like, all right, now go to the Capitol and get them. And I was like, go where?
Do what?
And so like watching the people be like, all right, homie, and start marching down Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh man.
So now all I'm thinking is I hope that they don't burn down our Chinese food spot.
Yeah.
Because we go to a great Chinese food spot on Pennsylvania Avenue, just a few blocks away from the White House. Like, it's literally across or from the Capitol. It's literally like right across the street. Man. And we were gonna be down there.
Yeah.
Not for the rally, y'all. We was not about to go down there and rally with them folks.
No,
That was
no.
not our crowd. We were definitely not welcome. I have some alternative viewpoints, and I knew that was not my crowd, not my day to be down there. But I had to ship a painting, and the UPS that I use is down there, and it's people who I try to use the same people because they know what to expect when I come. They know how I want my package wrapped. They know how I'm about to ship it. I don't have to explain a bunch of stuff. So we were like literally about to leave to go down there when he started talking, and oh man, I'm so glad. Can you imagine?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine?
I think you got right out of that car and was like, no, I'm not about to do this.
Man, I don't even know if we would have like made it. I don't even know if we could have left because the time if I hadn't turned that speech on, we were getting ready to go. So we wouldn't have even known he was saying all that stuff. We might have been parked in front of UPS when the mob came.
Oh man.
Like, imagine that. So, what did you see after that?
I saw like a ton of people in front of the Capitol. They said there was an armed standoff, which was crazy. They said a woman got shot.
That was insane.
Yep, they showed pictures of people in the White House. A crazy looking guy. My God, just sitting in the chair, chilling there.
They say he's the QAnon shaman.
What the heck is that?
I don't even know. But remember, you had left. I was like, you watched some of the speech, and then he said that, and then you had left. You like went back to your room or back downstairs or someplace, and then I called you.
Yeah, you called me.
I called you because as a parent, two things. One, I think that you're at an age where it's important for you to know what's going on in the world. But two, because, like when you are my age, you and your friends are going to be like, dog, or what do y'all say, bro? Remember when they stormed the Capitol?
Remember when they busted in there and a person got shot?
Man, now they saying 4 people died.
4 people?
They said 4 people died, so
It's
she got shot in the face.
There.
Yeah, so she got shot in the throat.
Wow.
And then they said that 3 other people died from like other medical issues in the area on the Capitol that were
a crime scene there. What, are they just stomping over the dead bodies?
They must have.
Like, wow.
Watching them arrive at the Capitol.
Yeah, and then I saw a big line of just flashing lights and cars coming down the street.
Yeah, but that was hours later.
Yeah.
So I know that I personally was very thrown off by I can't even use other language outside of the president ordering people to go take the Capitol was insane to me.
Yeah.
And, people that know me know that I have my feelings about America. I have a lot of strong feelings about the Democratic Party that are negative. I am not a Biden and Kamala fan at all. But the idea that a sitting president would tell people to go take the Capitol,
that's just
insanity.
Something going down in history.
Yeah, like I don't think that's ever happened before, and I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Ever happen. That has ever happened before, and I haven't even like researched a ton of history. I don't think that has ever happened.
Me and James looked it up, and even during the Civil War, the president of the Confederacy was Jefferson Davis. He was a senator in Mississippi James said that when Mississippi seceded, when they left the Union, he resigned as senator, and then he was elected president of the Confederacy. So, and he was Secretary of War or something like that. So he left those positions and then became president of the Confederacy. So even then, it wasn't like a president or even a sitting senator was like, go take the White House, go take the Capitol. Like, I don't think that that's happened in history, in American history. You know, of course, in other countries, that type of thing might happen depending on the type of government. But in American history, I don't think that's ever happened. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't foresee that ever happening again. Like, yeah. Because.
Like, whoa.
So we saw, and I want to say too, it was interesting to me to see just the lack of preparation.
Yeah.
Because especially when you juxtapose it with what we watched during the summer with the protest on Black Lives Matter. Uh-huh. Remember when we drove past Black Lives Matter Plaza after that first or second night of rioting? Mm-hmm. And it was like cops everywhere. It was National Guard everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we literally took a picture with one.
Y'all took pictures with National Guard people in tanks and stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, it was everywhere. And there's like, everything was boarded up. Most of the places have not taken the boards down that are in downtown DC. And it was kind of understood that, like, there's possibilities for riots at any time, at least through the inauguration. So for the park and the federal police to have been so ill prepared was just crazy.
Yeah.
And shout out to the 7 cops that they had in the Capitol, because like the video of the brother running up the stairs, at first when I saw that on Twitter, we was laughing, we was joning on him, we was making fun of him, but then I saw the video of like how it was like one mad white person, 2 or 3, and then it was like 200, and it was just like, it was like a tsunami, like it just, they came through. They was running the cops over.
Oh my God.
Then they said on the news later that as when they got in, they maced the cops.
Oh, whoa.
So they had pepper sprayed the cops. They had maced the cops. So, you have cops that can't see, that are completely overwhelmed. So let me ask you this. Do you think that when the first people came in, do you think that brother should have shot them?
It would probably have made all the, like, 200 more behind. It probably would have made it a little bit worse. Because they would have been like, yo, you just shot him. And then they would be even more mad. And more violence.
I 100% agree. I think that them retreating was honestly probably the best and only thing to do. Because, you got a little handgun. Yeah. You got 6 to 9 shots that you can get off.
You don't got that.
It's 300 people.
You ain't got that much.
Right. And they're moving. So how many of them are you realistically going to hit before your other 4 cops come to have your back? Like, you can't shoot up a crowd of hundreds of people like that. And I also think that had they responded that violently, because, there's reporters there, people are filming it, I think it would have looked, America looked real dumb anyway, but I think it would have looked like a whole different type of situation if they had just started shooting folks. And like...
Yeah, it would have been like way worse.
They would have had, because, they got the video of the lady getting shot in the throat. Twitter took it down. They took it down as soon as it went up. I saw it anyway. It was
but I got to see it.
I saw it anyway.
I got to see it.
I was like, if I gotta watch all these videos of them shooting black folks in the street, I'm definitely watching them shoot her. I'm joking, y'all. I'm just joking. I watched it because I wanted to see if she had a weapon or like what was happening that led to somebody getting shot, because Like, that was crazy to me that they were shooting.
And when they said the armed standoff, I was like, dang.
Yeah.
They really have a standoff.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? And then, you know, what's crazy about the news is that they said armed standoff, and then there was, like, no information for about 15 minutes. But in that 15 minutes, you started seeing pictures of people sitting on the Senate floor.
Yeah.
Like, in the chair that the vice president had just got up out of and ran. Like,
yeah. Like, there was a dude with the crazy face paint and stuff, and the weird hat thing. It was amazing.
It was crazy. Then, when they said they broke into Nancy Pelosi's office, and she's the Speaker of the House. So, she's that old, kind of evil-looking woman that they roll out all the time. When you see an old white woman talk, it's usually Nancy Pelosi. So, she's important because if the president and vice president,
let me look up a picture real quick.
if they die, she would become president. Yeah, look her up so you can see her.
Oh God, this girl, this person.
You've seen her before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always talking.
She looks absolutely horrifying.
I can't believe y'all didn't vote her out. Man, she just got reelected for that seat, and that's the Captain. Give the Americans $600, and that's it.
God.
Yeah, that's Nancy, and Nancy's new face.
Horrifying. This looks absolutely horrifying.
All of them look decrepit.
They look like they riz from the dead.
Yeah, what kind of old world government do we have? I'm just like, why are all y'all in your 90s? Like,
why?
Making decisions.
Why is
for the
someone to
country?
turn 100 and die?
Everybody. All of them are. It's a very old
They look like
guard.
they're on their second life.
They are.
As a
Listen, we
oldness.
can't talk about that. YouTube will take us down.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, the other thing that really was insane to me, when they told the members of the House that got of Congress that got trapped in there to put the masks on and get under the chairs.
Yeah, that was whoa. I was like, hold on, what?
I was there.
Did you say?
Like, do what?
I was like, what did you say? What did you say that they had to do?
And seeing the people, like, there was people literally in there until like 5 o'clock hiding, like, fearing for their safety, which I was blown away.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Now, what I was proud about in terms of being an American is that usually when white people be acting up, there's not a lot of like harsh language. They pretty quickly started calling it an insurrection and a coup. And then this morning I was seeing the term domestic terrorism.
Wow.
Which was very necessary because a lot of times white people commit domestic terrorism and it's not called that. You know, it's called, Jimmy was a lone ranger and was disgruntled. And like, no, like the bombing in Nashville, they were like, he was a lone ranger and he believed in conspiracies. And it's like, if you blow up downtown, that's a domestic terrorism.
That's not okay.
All right. Whether anybody gets hurt or not, it's terrorism.
Like, you can't blow up downtown and it be fine.
Okay, you just was in your feelings. Like, come on.
How is that an excuse for blowing up?
Well, it is
downtown?
If you are white. What do you think about that? Because Joe Biden, he just gave a speech, and in his speech, he was like, now, a sidebar, I want to say...
Remember how he walked off? He walked off. Then
Joe
the girl
Biden.
was shot and then he came back.
Joe Biden could barely move. He was like... and then he turned around. Man, the collective panic.
God.
I felt panic from Joe's handlers when he turned around to come back because I can't even imagine what it took for them to even get him. Like, I'm sure that he was taking a nap when the insurrection started. And so I can't even imagine what it took for them to get him like up and functioning enough to go like give a speech. And so they were like, keep it short, keep it tender, Joe, because like... hit these points, tell people to go home,
say it,
walk off.
leave.
Then when he started to come back, because then with Joe, you just never know, like, how lucid he's going to be and for how long. So when he started coming back, I was like, "Ooh,
Oh.
Joe."
You might want to walk back.
I don't know why they didn't have like an assistant or somebody there, because usually like they have like a press secretary or a public information officer or somebody who can come and like field questions. Like they should have got Joe to the back and got somebody else out there to answer those questions. When he started coming back, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and he had this, I don't know what it was, but he had something in his hand coming back, holding it up.
Yeah, that folder or something.
I was like, oh no.
And Joe loved to holler too. That's the other thing that's crazy to me about him, because when he started hollering like, this will not impact me being sworn in, that he loves to holler. So he got his moments to holler, and then he like, oh man, walked back to the back. Man, I could smell the Bengay and icy hot, man. I was like, oof, Joe. But today, and so, sidebar, they use Black Lives Matter to mean all black people. And all black people are not Black Lives Matter, including us. We are not Black Lives Matter. We don't rock with that. We don't co-sign that. We're not part of that movement. More power to the small chapters and the work that they're trying to do. I can't speak against what small chapters are doing, but the overall organization, we don't mess with that. We're not part of that. So he made a comment today. No. And he was like, y'all hear the kids in the background. So he made a comment today. He just gave a speech about 30 minutes ago. And he said if black people, Black Lives Matter, had run up on the Capitol like this, it would not have been the same situation. What do you think about that? And I ask you that because that's always been one of my complaints about like the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And it's very passive. It's very passive aggressive. Like the whole, like especially this summer, watching people stand outside and be like, hands up, don't shoot. And then get destroyed by the police. Like watching them beat old white ladies and like watching them just mace people and they babies and whatnot, and they standing there chanting hands up, don't shoot, like
that was not violent at all. They like went ham on them.
They did.
I'm like, they're just marching and chanting things.
Literally.
They're not doing anything bad. Why are you killing people?
Doing the most.
Just marching and chanting things.
So do you think that if one of those if at the initial rallies against the police and George Floyd and whatnot in June, do you think if they had marched on the Capitol like that, what do you think would have happened?
I think there would be a lot more dead people. Like, I feel like they might have just gotten something and went hard on them.
I think so too.
I think they would have went harder on them.
I think so too. I think they would have massacred the people.
Yeah.
No question.
I think it would have been an awful crime scene.
But then that's the other thing that makes me wonder about this whole situation is that the amount of response that we saw in the summer, like remember when we was taking walks and they were training the park people, they was on the horses. Mm-hmm. And they was riding around us like I felt like we were on the plantation.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then there was a helicopter.
The helicopter.
I was like, yo.
They've been flying helicopters over our house. We live about 10, 15 minutes
from
the Capitol.
I saw one go by and I'm like, are you serious?
Like, they fly helicopters at least twice a day over our house since the summer, like so low that the house is shaking. And I know that there's crime in DC, but like the type of crime where you need the helicopter is like not happening twice a day. Like that's just ridiculous. So it's been obvious, and there's been rumors that the helicopters were just to kind of terrorize people and to kind of mess with people. I did not see one helicopter. I did not see park police on horseback. I did not see I saw them rubber bullet people and their kids. Remember when Trump cleared the park out to take the picture in front of the church? Remember they had in June, I think it was June. Remember he had the Bill Barr and all them came out and they surveyed the people outside. They was all just protesting, and then all of a sudden it was police on horseback, a helicopter flying low. They sprayed the whole crowd. They was hitting people with the batons to move them back so that Trump could take the picture in front of the church.
No, I don't remember that.
Man, they did the most so he could take a picture in front of the church. I didn't see none of that at an actual attempted coup. Like all these things that they deployed against the average people, I didn't see none of that in a like this was an attempted coup. I can't call it anything else. Do you know what a coup is?
No.
A coup is an attempt to overtake and overthrow the government. So a coup a coup is what you saw yesterday.
Okay.
Is people occupying the Capitol with the intent of holding the space to stop government from functioning and then taking over the government functions. So this happens in countries and other places, but I didn't see any of the force. Why do you think? Do you have any ideas or suspicions around why you think that it was so easy to just swoop in and do all that?
They weren't trying to fight back at all. Like, they didn't try anything.
And that was something that was really interesting to me, was that they weren't even trying. And the fact, and I know there's some issues there because, like, for example, in DC, for them to deploy National Guard, guess who has to sign off on it? Trump.
Oh, man.
So he denied it.
Oh,
The
wow.
mayor was like, we need National Guard. And he was like, nah.
I'm gonna let this happen.
Yeah, he was like, that's a no-go.
It's like, go ahead.
So it took them hours before Pence was able to, like, get in and okay the National Guard. So, like, this just was a mess for hours. And,
Man, I saw they took somebody and was holding him like this. And would, like, literally drag him out.
You know what else I found really crazy, though? Those people that were in the White House walked out. They didn't arrest none of them people. Now they got their pictures up and they're asking the public to identify people and help them. But those people was in there doing all of that, taking pictures, taking videos, and then they just walked out. So it was crazy. Yeah, I think they would have shot black folks, definitely.
Yeah, they would have shot them, maced them, whatever.
Let me ask you what you think about this. So, a lot of comments, I'm getting cooked in my private group right now because somebody posted a picture of the lady who got killed and was like, oh well. And I don't feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah.
That's just me personally. You can feel like that's cool, but I don't think I don't celebrate the death of anybody.
Yeah,
Whether I agree with them or agree with their movements, particularly if they're unarmed. And I understand that sieging the Capitol presents an interesting threat. But I don't know if I could say that shooting through a door into a crowd is necessarily appropriate action. We were asking, like, why couldn't they fire in the air or something like that? I don't think shooting through the door in a crowd where you can't even see.
Yeah,
and
they
just
could have
shooting whoever.
shot in the air and it would have been like, whoa.
Or just, at the end of the day, they had to give up the space anyway. So just, people are about to bust through the door. You've got 4 or 5 people who are armed. I feel like the focus should have been to gather up the people who were still in the room and either get them to one location or whatever. I don't know.
Evacuate them or something.
Yeah, and even if you
Let
couldn't
them
evacuate them, gather them together, and then the people with guns kind of surround them, because it didn't look like it was hundreds of people in the room. It looked like it was about 20, 25 people who got caught in the room. They were all on the top floor at this point. It's gonna be breached. I don't know. But people are on my timeline and they're just like, nobody cares because they shoot black people all the time. What do you think about that?
I don't know if it's okay to say nobody cares.
I don't like that. And I don't like that from us, especially us who have so many grievances with this country as well. I feel like, sometimes you gotta let white people do some work. And this is one of those times where it's like, look, white folks is coming to talk to y'all. White folks is coming to holler. I'm gonna go ahead and stay home because this is y'all's opportunity to have these conversations, because we too should be concerned about election fraud, allegedly. What do they do on Urban X? Allegedly. We should be concerned too, though.
Yeah.
But I also think that we shouldn't be celebrating somebody getting shot by the police, isn't that what we just spent the whole summer protesting?
Yeah.
Was that the police shoot people? So are we only mad when they shoot black people?
How does that?
Yeah, and that's not the type of black that I want to be personally. I want to be black and proud and black and loud and black and all of that, but I don't want to be black and okay with police shooting folks as long as it's not me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how they have felt all this time. Was oh, it's cool as long as it's not me. And, I don't want to be like them. So.
Are you on the video? Yes.
Yes, we're on the video. All right, so my last question. Do you think that they should get him out of there? So we've got
Joe?
No, Joe is coming. They said Joe, they certified Joe today, so Joe is official. Trump has, I think 15 more days, 13 more days in office.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about impeaching him.
What is that?
That means that they draw up papers to say he violated a law or he violated the presidency, and then everybody votes and says that he has to go. They're also talking about invoking the 25th Amendment.
What is that?
The 25th Amendment is invoked when a president is undergoing a medical procedure and going to be unconscious, might die, is unable for whatever reason to carry out presidential duties. And so oftentimes it's used if a president has surgery, for example. Then they'll invoke the 25th Amendment and the vice president is in control, while the president has surgery and recovers. But then it's temporary. He gives power back to the president once the president comes back. The exceptions, and this has never been done before, is removing a president. And James read me the language. They said if the president is mentally disabled in some way or fruitier than a nut cake. Is what the language is in the writing of the
What
law.
does that mean?
I think that's what we saw yesterday, was a fruitier than a nut cake, because that food was crazy.
Wow.
So what would happen is the vice president would have to invoke the 25th Amendment. It would call Congress back together, and they would have to vote. And I think it's 2/3 majority to, and it would get the president out. As soon as the 25th Amendment is invoked, okay, the vice president is president until a decision is made. Do you think they should make the extra effort and get Donald Trump out of there?
I feel like the people are still gonna come if they're gonna come for a second time. I feel like they're still gonna come whether he's president or not.
I agree. I think the people are going to come. I think they need to get him out of there though.
Yeah, they do.
And this is the first time I felt that he was very distasteful in the summertime with some of the things that he said and some of the things that he did. But this is the first time that I was like, oh no. And you know, I wish that it wasn't Biden and them coming in next. But I was like, you can't give no speech like this and then send people to tear up the country you're supposed to run.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't even make sense, you know? Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was weird. And so now I think they need to go ahead and get him out of there. He's banned on all social media.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he can't come on because they said he incites violence, obviously. But I definitely am, and I don't think that goes away. You know, I think that he has the capacity and the power to continue to incite violence. Bubba, what do you think? Come here. What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think? Should we get Donald Trump out of there?
Yes.
And why?
I don't know.
Is he crazy?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show, Bubba.
I'm staying here forever. I'm staying in the show.
You're staying in the show?
Yeah, I'm just going to sit out there.
So what do you think happens next for America?
Oh, so many crazy things can happen. I can't even think of what can happen next. I feel like they're gonna come down for a second time, though.
Yeah. I think so too.
After that, I have no idea. It could be anything random stuff. Any random stuff.
They put a huge gate up around the Capitol now.
Oh, wow.
He said, y'all are not coming back here.
Gate and everything.
Yes.
He's about to jump the gate or knock it down or something now.
I mean, they was scaling up the walls. Like,
Oh, dang.
like barehanded and whatnot. White people are wild.
Yeah.
I was just like, but I also saw just how obviously pre-planned the whole thing was, because they had ropes, they were ready to like toss over the side, they were climbing, scaling up the building, and so
Oh, my God.
this is something I think has been planned. Bubba!
Sorry.
Ooh. This is something I think has been planned for quite a while. And because you have to have the blueprints to do that. You got, like, nobody's walking around downtown that came from another state with a perfect amount of rope to get to the second floor of the Capitol. Like,
You gotta ship out some blueprints or something.
yeah, you have to really know.
You gotta
what you're
measure
doing.
everything.
Yeah, you have to measure it. You have to know, like, this is a scalable wall. Like, the whole, it just was too orchestrating. And because it was happening in other states too, you know, like watching what was going down in Oregon, the gatherings that started in Minnesota, like, it was a lot. So I agree. I think they're gonna come back. I don't think they're gonna go back to the Capitol necessarily.
I found the White House is next.
I think that we're about to be under curfew for like ever now. I think we're gonna see curfews on and off for the next 2 weeks until the inauguration. I know they've canceled the inauguration events before, but I don't see people not descending on DC anyway, and especially now. I think that we are about to see trials like we've never seen before. I think they're going to charge people with conspiracy, terrorism, all kinds of stuff. And I wonder, I was reading some articles this morning about how no president has ever faced criminal charges after they left the presidency.
Oh,
But you gotta arrest him. What I saw yesterday in that first speech was the very definition of treason. And you gotta arrest Donald after that. You gotta get him out of here in a way that's like more significant than just impeaching him 2 weeks before the end of his term anyway. So I would be interested to see if there's going to be charges filed against him. Especially because his second speech, did you see his second speech?
No.
Oh man, everybody all day, they were like, where is he to tell people to go home? And so they put out this recorded speech, and you know what he said?
What?
Girl, he was like, you know, we have a right to protest, but you got to keep it peaceful. Some of y'all need to go home, even though they stole the election and they lie. And it was like,
wow.
what do you say, bro?
Dude, you
Like
actually
I do.
did that.
She says that.
Like I do.
You say, bro?
I lie.
You
Yeah,
lie?
I lie all the time.
I'm more like Bobo.
You lie all the time?
Yeah.
That's terrible, Bubba.
So do I lie all the time?
Sometimes.
I lie all the
What the heck? I'm not taking that
No,
out.
that in there. That was funny. Well, I think we've talked for a long time. And so, you know, we definitely want you to subscribe. You know, say your YouTube things.
Subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell, and
Notification bell.
notification bell.
Yeah. Notification.
So you'll get notifications every time we upload.
And we are going to be back
Sarah?
consistently, coming in
Sarah?
once a week.
I got that from Korea. I got that from Tiny King.
You're so helpful, Bubba.
I got that from
You want to
Tiny-
tell them what our business is called? Turn around, look at the camera right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Right.
Terrellis.
Terrell what? DC.
DC.
Yay. So make sure that, because we're going to be back, we're going to start shooting once a week again like we were before. Make sure you check out TerrellArtsDC.com. Follow along with us and keep up with us on our show. All
Don't
right.
forget to subscribe.
And subscribe. You can subscribe on our website too. And follow us on social media. Well, we'll see what the world comes up with next.